mechanical in your washroom in the center. Although there are issues on it on a universal level of, you know, for someone in a wheelchair, how would someone get into that space? But I'm intrigued by it. I mean, there's some things we need to tweak and look at, but it's kind of a fascinating idea.
Sketch here. There's a difference in elevation, so there's a structural issue to be dealt with there. How's that?
Actually, the interior walls.
These core walls here
Right.
are the structural ones,
Okay.
and the rest of the interior walls are the
I see. Okay.
bolted in ones. Sorry, I didn't explain
All right.
myself.
And the access to the laneway is on which side of the building?
We're assuming it's on the bottom side.
On the glazed side?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, understandably, because you have no idea which orientation the site's going to be in, it's kind of hard to decide whether the windows should be on that side versus the other side. Would it be adaptable that, let's say you're thinking that the laneway's on the south side, which it would seem to be ideal for the way that you've laid it out. Is there an opportunity, or have you considered the possibility that if the laneway was on the north side, how could you adapt the structure or the layout to suit that other orientation? Just to go diametrically opposite. I mean, if I could say north, south, east, west, that'd be a little too much, but could you flip it? Would it be flippable?
I actually think with some adjustments, this could be a very, very clever idea.
Yeah.
Especially, you can almost imagine it being a kit, and then the kit would come and you would erect the kit. So, like, the main flaws right now are really the core. You haven't designed the core and the kitchen in such a way that they actually work for people. Like, even this shower, if this wall was just straight, it would be easier to get into than the cut on the angle. So really look at the space planning of this and look at how you might enlarge this. Are you familiar with the octagonal house by James Fowler? He was a guy in the 19th century who promoted the idea of the octagonal house as the most healthy house. But there are real issues around octagonal houses and round houses in terms of like where you put furniture and how you put them together. I mean, you could almost imagine this as a square house with a square rotated, and then you might have more simple walls. So, you know, don't get so stuck on the octagon per se, and really, really design this core and figure out, like, what this is implying right now is that there's not a kitchen like a normal kitchen. And that could be interesting. In other words, could you redesign a kitchen so it's not about kitchen cupboards and cabinets, but it's like about working with live foods and stuff like this, right? So I saw some sketches there and stuff. So you gotta show the detail, right? For it to be real. Like, if you're gonna say to people, you're gonna live in this house without kitchen cupboards, then show me.
What we're looking, our model is a lease-to-own system where once a student is enrolled in the university, they pay a monthly kind of rent, and at the end of their graduation, they have the option of selling it back to the university, so a new student can come into it, or they can actually keep it. And since this unit's so mobile, they can actually just pick it up and move it to, say, a new site and use it as their first home.
I think you built a great business. Like, I think you got a really good business model. It's something, you know, you should look for investors and try to sort of really package it.
Our building is called Mikasa Sukasa. It's your house and my house is your house. The main two things I want to point out is how we incorporate culture and the demographics involved. So we produced an identity using 3 different types of cladding on the building: wood, metal, and glass. Representing low income or traditional for wood, or modern and higher end for metal and glass.
One of the reasons they use polystyrene in the structural insulated panels is because polystyrene helps the structural sandwiching. And so if you're going to replace it with isonine, then what's going to make that panel structural? So this is where I'm saying that you've got the right idea, but you have to really work it out. So it's not so easy to take out the polystyrene and put in the isonine, because then you've lost your structural integrity on your structural insulated panel. So you got to really work out those details. is the right way, but you got to solve it, and that's where you guys are. You're solved all the space planning, all the urbanistic, even the aesthetic, and most of the layout. But then you have to start solving how do you actually build what you're building in a detailed level.
We could use your influence when it comes to picking a design that you give us your top 3
Sure.
designs, and then
Yeah.
hopefully everyone picks the same top 3. We don't have like 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. Then it'll be really up to you yourselves and Luigi.
Yeah, know what he did is he made like a graphics for the tastefulness of the
Yeah,
graphics.
but they just didn't. They just
But then they
missed
didn't.
it.
They didn't miss it. They missed it.
Where he should have added.
And they've got a guy in the team that was a good
Added,
graphic
but done
guy
it
too,
for
but
them?
he
No.
just missed on the graphics.
Yeah, and they even had this clever idea that you add a module on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they had it all. It's just that they didn't bring it together in the end.
Oh, no,
I think
that
they
was really good.
both blew it, and I don't
Graphically.
think we should warrant.
But you know what? Though,
I'd
but at
have
the
to
point,
look
though,
around
is if
at all
we're
of
gonna
them
look
again.
I actually see they have another opportunity to do the graphics if the building and the thought is there. I
But
think
this is not a prize. This is just who we're
Yeah.
getting to present, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we decide?
Well, we've got 2. We're all sort of on the third is what we're trying to figure out. We've got Octagon as a possibility. I have either Simplicity or the Geo Housing one, which I think, unfortunately, graphically was bad, but the plan is pretty solid.
Or the cluster, only because I like the modular system. They based their designs based on the sort of like ad, and these other 2 don't do that. So I wanted to add a different element.
You know which one was also really good? Is the one where they moved that table around. Actually, they didn't have time to really put good graphics
That was
up
the
there, but
cluster.
it was really well thought out.
Furniture. So that was interesting.
Their furniture was great.
They went
focused
backwards, though,
on that.
didn't they?
Yeah, I think we should. The ones that went backwards, like they have the chance to fix it during the semester. I think we should choose 3 schemes that were really well presented, solid.
Okay.
I would go with the Octa, the Mikasa Sukasa, and
Right.
the Backspace. They're all slightly
Oh,
different.
right, I forgot about the backspace. Yeah, I would go
And-
to backspace too. That would
Okay.
be.
Yeah.
And-
Okay,
well, and what's the
This
order?
is not like this is just for
I
them
don't
to
think we
present
need
to the
an
thing.
order.
No.
No.
Because the order will be when we choose the final one.
Well, I'll just 10 by 40. There it is. Number 2. Number 2. There we go. I got the 3 of them. Okay. I got them. I will, I suppose. We're going to continue with these projects the rest of the semester, so we're not done with them yet. Okay, we're going to take them. We're going to take them through. Okay. For today, we're going to have 3 groups present. Okay, to everybody right now. So hopefully the PowerPoints are all up on the computer. But we've got group number 3 who's going to present. Okay, we've got group number 9 who's going to present, and we've got group number 2 who's going to present. Okay.
According to Kevin Kelly, who authored Speculation on the Future of Science, scientific advancement will accelerate to a greater degree in the next 4 to 5 decades than in the past 450 years. This means that careers in design and technology will be even more important, as design and technology take the promise of scientific discovery and repurpose it for human ends. Such careers will be made more diverse, flexible, challenging, and well paid. Every industry, from construction and manufacturing to banking and healthcare, will depend on these design and technology advancements and the people who make them possible. Opportunities will abound in design and technical disciplines, management, business ownership, education, and sales.
All of you did a wonderful job, and we can't wait to see the results of all of your projects. Everyone should take a hand of applause for themselves for all the good work that you all did.